There's Talon that goes Gore Drinker. There's Kiana that goes Gore Drinker. These champions will show up randomly with Gore Drinker and low elo and like Smurf. The reason why that's the case is because boosters know the truth. But anyways, we're coaching Silver Hecarim. Let's get to it. So we're in Silver. We're playing, looks like right now we're on Hecarim grind a little bit.
I guess I'm fairly new, kind of like maybe a year into League.
Okay.
And I've kind of scattered, as you can see, champs like all over the place. I have like multiple accounts. Like when I first started, I was like, oh man, my MMR is screwed. That's why I'm losing. I'm gonna make a new account and start over. And like quickly learned that wasn't the issue.
Yeah,
so I was like, all right, well, screw it. That's why I kind of started this one here, so I can just start clean, fresh, and be done with like Smurf accounts and stuff that I don't need because I'm obviously not good enough to Smurf.
Right, yeah. I think first things first, you have to understand that. Well, what's your rank goal? Like your actual like what do you in your head? What would satisfy you?
Platinum. Okay. But like my main goal is more to like be able to look at a VOD myself and understand like what did I screw up? Why am I 4-11-4? In my game before I was 10-1-4. Like what the hell happened?
Oh, okay. Well, that's good because I can actually share my screen and we can look at the 4-11-4 game real quick.
Yeah, that one's funky.
Yeah, I got the boost a little bit.
I started E and thinking I'm gonna like smack some dude and realized that was a horrible choice.
Oh yeah, you tried to start E and fuck with people?
Yeah, and it didn't work out too well.
let me peek it real quick. What do you know about Hecarim?
His W heals, Q can stack 3 times, kind of keep the stacks up. E's a knockback, and then ult is fear and knock. I usually go for like max movement speed, kind of like semi-assassin build with like max ability haste. Yeah, the E was...
Yeah, let's talk about this. So you're running phase rush. What items are you building?
Usually start, like I'll go back and if I base, I'll get lucidity boots and then like a tier. And then I leave the tier to stack up. And then I build Duskblade first, and then I finish.
Alright, you're not building that shit anymore. You're not building no fucking... Nah, you're not building that. You're gonna be building like Sunderer or something.
Alright.
Yeah, you can't be building this goofy shit. People are actually building this? This is actually
it's like max ability haste. So like it only like gets like really good if you get mid to late game and don't screw up too much, because you just spam Q like it's Earth. I don't know if people legitimately are building it. I've seen it on like a YouTube video.
No, it's being built globally. It's being built. That's why I'm looking it up real fast. You can see my screen, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's being built, but it's fucking terrible. And the reason why it's terrible, at least in your case, I don't know how the hell it's winning. But the reason that it's terrible in your case is you basically hit the nail on the head when you said that it takes a while to scale up. And it's just, I don't know, it's very finicky. I mean, even Eclipse I can kind of see working a little bit better because at least it gives you some survivability. This shit, it is winning. Like, I'm not going to argue with the win rate, but it's not going to win as you climb up or face real players. Like, it's not gonna hold up. Like, as you can see, like if you go Eclipse, it's working in a higher elo. See, this is Diamond 2+. But if I flip over to Korea, which is where normally you start to see like true gaming gamers, you see very quickly that this shit just doesn't even happen.
Yeah, because like my build, I noticed I don't have any sustainability until I get like item 4, which is like Shogun, and that's
so
everything before that. I'm like run in, spam Q, hope I kill somebody, and then die.
Yeah, so basically what I'm going to try to get you to understand, and this is what I tell every single coaching client that goes through me, anytime that your champion can build Bruiser and be viable, that's always better in low elo, and it's not even close. So like if you're playing I can use examples of assassin champions where this is true. So there was a meta where Akali was building like a bunch of Bruiser shit, You know, she was even going Gore Drinker at times. There's Talon that goes Gore Drinker. There's Kiana that goes Gore Drinker. These champions will show up randomly with Gore Drinker and low elo and like Smurf. The reason why that's the case is because boosters know the truth. If you build your champion to be more of a bruiser, damage is just redundant.
Right.
Like all the damage that you do, it doesn't matter if you kill somebody and then you have to base. You know what I mean? When you play like a bruiser, you can take up a lot of space. Something that players never really talk about that's like valuable is absorbing cooldowns. So like not tanking necessarily, but just being able to absorb some cooldowns. Just with a little bit more survivability, you know?
Right.
It doesn't matter if you one-shot some guy into the fucking Stone Age if you can't tank anything for your team and take up any space, and your team's just standing there while you dash around and one-shot people, and then they just don't know what to do because, yeah, that's just how it is.
Right, which this game you see pretty quickly. Volibear just like stuns me and I'm dead. Like instantly in mid-game, late game, didn't matter. He just stuns me, I'm dead. Like every single time.
Yeah, let's see what you decide to do. So you start E, which kills your clear.
Yeah, it sucked bad.
So what I'm doing when I VOD review, I look at when you had gank options. And what you decided to do. So here, this isn't a gank option yet, but I'm looking at it very, very hungrily right now, if I was you.
Mundo's pretty low. Yeah, I don't know that I even checked it.
So yeah, if you're not checking it, that's a problem. But either way, Mundo dies. You going up there, it doesn't change anything. You could have like gambled and ran all the way past chickens to it, but that's a gamble. You know, at that point, you're just flipping. Since you don't have ghosts, it's not a good move. If you had ghosts, and maybe after you finish chickens, if he's still hovering with no HP, I'd probably just skip red and walk up because I know that he dies 100% if I show up. But yeah, this is the type of stuff you need to do with this champion. So Teemo kills your Mundo and the wave's stuck and you're about to go to Scuttle. I would push Scuttle up so that I could gank Teemo again here. So you're pushing it down, but you know that Teemo likely has no sums at this point. Like even if you're a noob and you don't track everybody's sums like early game, I don't know if Teemo flashed if you saw it in the first fight, level 1. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that when your teammate dies, assume that the guy that killed him used some sums and think about what you can do with that. So here, pushing the Scuttle down when you know that Teemo's about to pop his head up. See? Now, I've never seen this VOD before, right? You finish this Scuttle and you go to this river bush, you kill him again. You see this? He just dies. See that?
Yeah, E into him, push him towards Mundo.
Right, it's free. Guarantee kill. You just E from here. But see where you are, you're in a useless position. What this tells me is that you're not adapting to what's happening on the map and thinking about how you can get gold quickly. This is always a free kill. A squishy range top dives your top laner and then the wave is hung right here. Well, it's not even hung, but like the fact is players don't understand offense defense either at this level. So like this wave is pushing. Teemo should be very scared of you and he should be warding. Notice that he does have a ward, but he hasn't placed it. This is why he's in low elo. If he wants to stand here, he has to ward down here.
Right. Yeah, so, I think my thought here was like I saw a volley bot, and so I figured his clear time would be slower, and I could maybe meet him on blue. I don't remember if that was this game or not that I did. But I guess if I typically just one state mind, I keep going for the invade rather than checking the whole map to see what the best opportunity is.
The thing is I always like to use poker metaphors. You're being dealt hands in this game, okay? This is a very long hand, but you're dealt a hand. A 20, 30-minute hand. When the Mundo dies back here, you must think about what you can do with that information. So he dies. Bam, dead. At this point, what I would be doing is just like you did, the full clear, but I'm thinking about, wait, where's that wave gonna be? There? Interesting. that's when you decide, like, oh, maybe I can re-gank this guy, or I can gank this guy right when he comes back and really catch him off guard. I'm right here. I'm level 4, and he's not gonna. He has to show up eventually.
Right. I can see kind of where the waves are gonna meet too by watching the
Right.
wave.
Right.
Seeing like where his wave would be.
Right. So when he pops this, you would already be standing there, and now you just tap E and walk it in, and he's depressed. Because now he's gonna die.
fair.
He's gonna die in a very gross spot. You're gonna crash this wave with Mundo, and now you're sitting on a kill, enough gold for probably Lucid Tier. You could probably buy both here, and
Yeah.
you could get out of control right there, right off the rip. So
Yeah,
even
which
though
is way
you're
more value than blue
yeah.
buff.
Yeah, so let's talk about the invade. Invades are cool, like if you have nothing else going on, but this is kind of like a flip, because you have no idea where Volley is.
No, I was just guessing. I think I saw a glimpse of him bot early game, and either that or I was just going like, screw it, I'm gonna try and invade, see if he's been there, and got lucky that he wasn't already.
Yeah, so let's talk about what'll get you in trouble here in this game. So when you want to go for these invades, that's all well and good. And you will have ghosts and smite soon, but just as a rule of thumb, doing just like a cold turkey invade without prio like this is pretty
Sketch, yeah.
right. I mean,
even
technically
the Teemo's still gankable.
he's gankable, but not only that, so the wave's pushing into Teemo, right? The thing about League is it's kind of weird, because technically Mundo will eventually have prio, but he doesn't yet. So if Teemo drops down on you here with his jungler, and Pantheon moves over, yeah, both lanes are actually justified in moving. This one's a little bit more complicated because it doesn't look like he's justified in moving, but he actually is, because Rise is gone, right? And the wave, even if Pantheon moves, look at the minions here. Even if Pantheon moves, the wave's still hung here.
Yeah.
So Pantheon can move
inch forward, but that's it.
Right. So he has a timing where he can walk over and W you. Right. Teemo has a timing where he can walk over. Neither one of these guys will lose anything. So you can't argue that, like, oh, if they chase me around, because basically you're a new player, right? So when we're talking about invading, what you're trying to think is, A, can I take this reliably from the Volibear? I would argue in this spot, yes, I think you could reliably poke at it. I don't think you can guarantee a secure with smite or anything. It's a little awkward because Hecarim auto Q is weird to secure.
Yeah.
It's not like a Kha'Zix or a Nunu or something where you're just going to single target it. But, I think you're allowed to poke at this. But then the next step, whether or not you're allowed to justify an invade, is, are my opponents allowed to fuck with me when they see me? When this Volibear inevitably turns this corner, which is like, plan for the worst. When he turns this corner and this buff is at like 1k HP, and now Volibear gets to stare at me while I finish this, are his teammates justified in moving? This is very hard to process during an invade. Yes, this is hard to process during an invade. Even great players, like great junglers, been playing forever, do bad invades and like get caught because they just, they blank out and they think they can get away with it or whatever. But I want you to understand that this is the kind of checklist for how you go about determining whether or not you want to action it. Because once you do this, Volibear is going to turn the corner. Like I said, it's inevitable. He's always going to show up. Well, I guess he's the slowest clearer ever. Hey. Yeah, I guess he's just very slow. He's also not kiting. This is 4:30, by the way. This is pretty late.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
that's why I'm like, what the fuck?
Bot side for a little bit. He fucked around down there after his bot side clear and like did some whack shit in the river.
Okay, so here it is. So Volibear shows up, and you decide you want to get into an ego battle with him. Now, this isn't a bad ego battle because you got the level lead, you got the red buff. Volibear just doesn't have shit here. I don't even know. Did he even put a shield down? Or did he just tank? Did he just take it up the ass here? What was that?
I think he just said fuck it, tried to stun him.
Oh, he put this here, and then then he starts trading, but he can't trade once he's used that ability. Got it. But as you can see, teammates didn't rotate at all. So you're kind of in the clear. But again, they could have.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
could have.
I mean, I should have at that point. I should have taken the kill and gone out. But I was seeing.
No. Once you got the kill, and you're looking at the map, if they're not rotating, you're fine. I'm just saying that, just what you'd be aware of. So you get away with this. You go to mid, recall, lucid, and tier. I like the pings.
Yeah, and they even, I think I think I got confused with my vision and their vision. I saw the sparkles on the Drake and I was like, oh, I think they have vision. I'll just take Scuttle. But I think that was my own vision.
Now you're still balling pretty hard here. I mean, so far I'm okay with what I see.
Yeah, so like I made up for my stupid E start, and then at some point I just like completely fuck it up.
Let's look at this play here real quick. Yeah, you came back. All right, so this is just lazy. All right, let's talk about this. So you want to hit this Pantheon with a gank, right?
Yep.
So this is a layering issue. First things first is by now you should probably have a sweeper, but you don't. And you already have Rift anyway, so you wouldn't have been able to use it. This E, you're going to E into a max range ult, which is just completely fancy pants syndrome, unnecessary. I would rather you just walk up, see if Pantheon responds to the fact that you're sitting in the bush. If he does and backs away, then you know it's warded. If he doesn't, then he's bad and it's not warded, right?
Right.
It's low elo, so people are always hanging out where they shouldn't be. Here, if you just walk to this bush, you could open with an E into him to start. So go behind him and then E. But what you're doing instead is you're trying to max range stun or max range fear a guy who has a fucking invulnerability spell basically with a dude who does like negative damage and he's not poked down at all.
Right.
So this gank should be more for just poke as opposed to a full send. You should be Eing to just see what you can do if you're going to do this. Personally, I probably wouldn't take it. I would probably just farm. Ryze and Pantheon are perfectly fine to chill. And there's nothing you can really tell me that you need to gank him for. Like, right now you've got 1,300 gold. You just got Rift. You got Dragon. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
Like, I want you to start thinking like
just
a chess player.
Buff,
Yeah. Think like a chess player. Like, what exactly am I ganking this guy for? Do you look at their comp and think, wow, we get Giga outscaled here?
Right. Yeah. It's like I moved my queen out on the 4th move.
Right. It's just, you're miles ahead. You're miles ahead.
Yeah.
You don't have to make any move. Right? So when you're doing this type of gank instead of a full send, because here's what happens. Here's the nightmare scenario that I'm trying to fill you in on. If you go out here and you sling Richard and fling a fucking 80-yard ult this way, right, into mid,
Yeah.
and then Volibear just happens to be, pathing through here for some reason, or pathing through here for some reason, and you come out, well, now all of a sudden you get countered while you have 1,300 gold in the bank, right? And then you lose your momentum for no fucking reason when you are basically a free ride to a late game right now. That's how I view situations like these.
Yeah.
This is free ride. I'm chilling.
Right. Yeah, I got a level lead on volley, a kill lead.
Right.
I took half his blue jungle.
Right. So you come out, like I said, slinging Richard. You hit the fear, which is all well and good, but you're never killing this dude.
Yeah. No.
See? Like that's what I mean. Like, yeah, you did some substantial damage. But this is why I said if he's full HP, I just don't understand how it's going to work. And that's why I said you'd be better off just Eing at him and poking and then seeing what happens if you feel that way. If you get counter ganked, you still have the ult to leave.
Right. And it's not like Ryze is in trouble or anything like
Right.
that wave state wise
Right.
or health wise. So it's
Right.
not like I needed to help him by damaging Pantheon.
Right. So it's just I don't hate the idea of like poking at him because that's the kind of gank that I would call a poke gank. You don't full send it.
Mm-hmm.
You just come out, smack him in the forehead, your Ryze shoves, you both recall, and now, you do whatever the fuck you want from there. You can do a bot, or you can do whatever.
If I was poke ganking, I probably wouldn't waste my ult either.
Right. So if you go in and then Volibear shows up and it gets scary, you can poke at it and then, oh shit, I'm gonna die. R away. No problem.
Right.
That's how you should think with these types of ganks, because you said it yourself. Hecarim's good mid late game. Oh yeah, this is a pure Ooga, pure Ooga Booga.
Just
yeah.
Greed out my ass.
Yeah, so I think you understand. Like this right here, to me, this type of play is like, I wouldn't say it just kills the whole game, but when I see
I'm giving
back to
Volley a
back,
chance to catch back up.
yeah, when I see back to back goofiness, I'm like, yeah, this is unnecessary. And yeah, okay, cool. Let's get some games in.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, you won anyways. It looks like you got the teammate bailout, which you definitely did. My God,
Yeah,
Mr. Mundo over here.
Smacked.
Hecarim's a very technical champion, believe it or not. People think that he's like super brainless and like he doesn't take any skill or something. But I'm telling you right now, he is actually super tough to do properly.